Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Happy Friday, December 12th. Can't believe it's that far into December, man. Insane. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Happy to have you here with me. Before we hop onto the charts, as always, make sure you view what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Like Top on Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Damn. Back in action. Let's get it rolling. Let's hop onto the charts. Let's see what YM's got for us this morning. I am back on this live account. I paused the 50K, zero unfunded to a payout in 30 days challenge before it even really got started. I drastically underestimated really how much time it takes to make that type of content. I really do enjoy making it. It's super fun, all the short form reels and everything. But I'm also, at the same time, building a whole nother area for my trading, for streaming, that I'm super psyched about, but a whole lot. You can see that from me yesterday, being late to the stream and then having to try to check in with the guy that was outside. It was actually an electrician that was running some electricity. Or new wiring, whatever you call that, running electricity. Anyway, you can follow up on Instagram. You can watch that stuff. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of questions answered. Is it possible to do X, Y, Z? But I did pause that one for now. Back on the live account. This will be over to a Tradeovate account soon enough. I'm waiting to hear back from their team as to when they're going to allow people to start to get transferred over to Tradeovate and TradingView, because I really do want to be getting comfortable on that. But we're here back for now on Project X. We'll see if it goes down on me today. But we're going to be seeing what YM has for us today. Got cooked yesterday, man. Got really not a great play. Not a great play on the short side at all. Just strong market. These markets start pushing like this, or at least YM starts pushing like this, and you start to go, why do I ever do anything other than just buy and hold, right? That type of deal. But we'll see what the market's got for us today. Cracked through all-time highs. We're trading at 48, 8, 20, 29. Really different movements out of all of these U.S. indices, which we'll look at today. No news, but it's Friday. We'll see what we can do. Let's see what we got going on, guys. Good morning. Dwayne, NQ Trend Sniper. What's happening? We'll talk about some of the stuff that we got coming up today, coming up into next week, coming up into the holidays, right? We're coming into the end of December, man. It's crazy that we are coming into holidays. I'll talk about, how I handle trading those weeks, what we got coming up. What's up, guys? What's going on? Paul, good morning. Andrew Baggs, Bahar Trader, Glenn B. What's going on? One last day of the week. Yeah, here for the giveaway. Absolutely, man. We run giveaways here. Watching ES Orb M15 and retest for long. Well, the Orb hasn't even started yet. You got another 15 minutes. But calling out what you're looking at. I got that. Ezal, what's up? Relaxing Zen, what's up? Rhombus, what's up? Ruben, I can't pronounce any of your guys' names. Good morning. Back to be back. Glad to be back. Frozen children all. Ha, nice. Nice to see you, Pam. Dwayne, what's up? Zach, with it being the roll for the indices on the 15th and expiration on the 19th for the indices, can you refresh me on what trading is like the next week? Yes, Dwayne, we can talk about that. Trading through rollover. Good morning, Juliet, what's up? ADO King, what's up? Let's get it. Yeah, so rollover as a whole, and again, I've been in the futures market now for a little bit, but not for years and years and years, where I've gone through a whole bunch of different contract rollovers and different times. But we are expiring on this December contract. We're going to be moving on to the next fresh one. From a standpoint of like, what do I need to make sure that I'm doing? You need to make sure that you're on the right contract. So Project X, one of the nice things about Project X is it just automatically rolls for you. It automatically goes from the Z contract to whatever this new letter is going to be, which I should know, but I don't know off the top of my head. If you're on Tradevate or TradingView, for example, if you're not trading on the continuous contract, which you can, and you don't have to adjust for rollover, you do need to make sure that you're on the right contract, right? Swap over once volume and open interest picks up enough, and there's actually like, we all should be trading now on the new contract, the front month contract. As far as what happens in the market, right on the day that we start to roll, that volume and open interest dies down on this current contract that we're trading here and starts to get transferred over to the new contract, which you can see through the CME website. We can look at it together. You can literally just type in ES volume and open interest, and it will give you, I'll pull it up in a second. But essentially, that day and the day on the new contract tend to be a little bit weird, for lack of a better term. Price action, market structure, the movements, it tends to feel jumpy, gappy. It can be low volume, low volatility until it really kind of starts to come over. Sometimes I really don't notice too much different, but I try to exercise caution right during that time, right? Usually it's kind of like we finish out one day and then everybody's on the contract, the new contract the next day. It rolls on Project X and it swaps over. It gives you the warning on Tradevate as we open up here for 9:30 a.m. But we can look at that together, make sure you're on the right contract, how to do that. One thing I will say for sure is order flow tends to be all over the place. Bookmap tends to look super weird once right before the day that we're swapping, and then certainly on the new contract. For a couple days right through all that, it just tends to just not look great. CVD tends to not look great. That's my subjective opinion of that. Some people say don't trade through rollover at all. Don't trade the day that we're starting to die off, the day that we're swapping over. I don't go as far as that, but I will say I'll try to exercise a little bit of caution and be aware of like some abnormality. Not that there's ever a normal day in these markets, but let's talk about the markets as a whole before we jump into anything else too technical. I'll read the chat in a little bit. Really zoomed out here on the 15-minute chart, guys. You can see what happened. You can see what happened through FOMC, and you can see what happened yesterday. We absolutely just blasted off. I got short in here, and you could tell how I got short in here actually in pre-market. I got short in here after the open. Really frustrating day. Go back and watch it. Really frustrating day because this came all the way back down and came within a few points of my take profit. This mean reversion play, and beautiful entry. I nearly top ticked this candle right here. Just on the wrong side of the market, on the wrong side of the larger movement that I'm really looking to capture here on YM. So obviously did not play out too nicely. Super, super strong out of YM. Not nearly as strong, but much more similar on ES. And then if I'm thinking correctly, yeah, NASDAQ is just not holding up. Tech stocks, for whatever reason, right, the fundamentals behind all of it are just not blasting through this super clean all-time high. Like, this is a mess, dude. This is an absolute nightmare. I mean, if you're on low time frame, scalp and momentum, you're probably cleaning up, because this is a lot of opportunity in here, but back and forth, holy, like, that's heavy, guys. That's heavy. That's a big range to be trading. But focusing on YM here. You know, again, just objectively trying to stay, you know, really down the middle with this. If we zoom out on the 4-hour or the daily, you know, what does this chart look like? Really high time frame. Extremely bullish, right? Very strong market that we're trading here. A bull market. Really just continuing to push through all-time highs. Normal pullbacks, normal breaks and retests. Certainly some, you know, some turns to the downside, but nothing that doesn't get bought right back up and then just continue through the highs. So, you know, there's a reason that I have such a lower win rate on shorts and such a 100% win rate nearing. There's no 100% win rates, but a really high win rate on longs. Anyway, as far as what we're getting today, opening up, extremely bullish. We've already cracked prior day high after a huge push to the upside. A completely outsized day, right? Almost 1,000 points, exceeding average session and average daily ranges to the upside. Prior day volume point of control all the way up at the top, which we are just retesting and opening up. Overnight session, very choppy, right? Very choppy, just kind of back and forth, consolidating at VWAP all the way up here at all-time highs, which if we take a look at back, we blasted through it, right? We came nearly 400 points above that. So what do we see today? What do we get today? I really don't want to short this market, guys. It's really the only mean reversion style play that I have, but I'm not exactly sure that that I'm gonna have the strength in me to do that today. Nasdaq and ES again, not looking like this really at all. ES much closer. Nasdaq not at all. YM did seem to be leading the push all the way through for those of you that do look at all of the US indices. But looking at YM here today, big pushes to the upside. Coming into Friday, I think, you know, yesterday maybe we were expecting, or at least I was expecting, you know, a sweep of this high, some pullback down to this area. We tried it. I don't know that we correct today. I don't know. I think obviously one of three things. We chop up here. We sell off really aggressively. We correct. We come back down to prior day high. We pull back down to this area of high volume, right? You know, and if I was looking at that movement, it's a huge move to the downside. I don't know that we do that today. I don't think that we do. This feels like bulls in town for the Santa rally, and you know, maybe we blasted through highs and we're kind of just going to chill out a little bit. I think there's a case where we just continue to squeeze. We just continue to push to the upside. I definitely do think there is a case to be made for that. This is just showing a ton of strength, you know, day over day, week over week. So for me, off the open, I'm obviously not taking a long below pre-market low. I'm not going to take a short above pre-market high, current high of day. I'm going to wait for this to start to open up. And I think it's probably going to look like a continuation trade, right? I will probably be caught if I have to take an L, buying a push to the upside, selling a push to the downside, because I'm waiting for some direction out of this market. I will probably attempt to trade this that way because I do think a move can continue. There's certainly a case to be made for just chop up here, but if we're gonna start to sell off, there's plenty of room to the downside, just back to prior day high, just to go touch yesterday's high, or even halfway through. Excuse me. Not yesterday's high, the 10th. I'm looking for 2 days back, right? And there's plenty of room back towards, let's say, 50% of prior day's candle. That's what I should be talking about here. If we start to push to the upside, maybe we wick lower, I don't do anything, and we start to come right back through the highs. There's always room to the upside because there's nothing looking left. It's all-time highs, but you know, I would try to find a way in there long if possible. So I'm not going to do anything immediately off the open. I talked about getting really aggressively involved off the open and near the open the last few days for these mean reversion style plays. I do not have a mean reversion style play at all because we're sitting at the mean. We've almost done nothing, you know, in the overnight session. If we start to sell off again immediately, like the only thing I was thinking maybe right off the open for a mean reversion style play with the super strong trend that we have running here. If we start to sell off right into the open, a potential buy, where would I look for something like that? Honestly, it's a little dicey without looking all the way left in here. And, you know, it would probably be something off of all of this consolidation back into this area here, right? Here's actually going to be prior highs. We can throw a line off of this because unless I hop over to the 4-hour chart, I really can't see it. Not at all what I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and just make this like a dark gray line so it's not really sticking out too far. But that's going to be the highs over here from November, from middle of November. If I had to draw a zone off of this area, it's going to be up here in this consolidation, right? You know, coming off of this visible range volume profile. We could draw a nice wide boy like that, right? I think if we sold off, we got a chance to find buyers here. If we don't find buyers here, we're coming all the way back down to this area, all the way back into this consolidation. If I was going to draw a zone here, it would be off the top of all this price action. We could draw some zones today, guys. To the upside, there's nothing. There's nothing looking left, right? So you can use VWAPs. You could use some different tools. You could use, you know, Fibonacci extensions. I don't do any of that. I don't find it helpful to use those tools. Yeah, you know, to the downside again, and I don't like marking zones. I don't like marking a bunch of stuff on my chart like this. As you guys know, I do like little to no markup at all. I don't have this unless I look all the way left, right? And so to save myself from having to go all the way out and to just display this to you guys, potential, right? Potential for this, right? Right into yesterday's value area low, which is way high up in the daily candle. You know, if we were going to find buyers somewhere on a sell-off, maybe it's down here. Let's say into the 500s, 48,500s to 400s, somewhere in here. We start to break that. I think we could be coming back down to the high, all the way down here from the 10th, if not lower, all the way down into this this area of high volume, right? All this price action market structure to come and retest this. I don't think that we do that today, though. I really don't think that we just dump. I think that we either consolidate a bit or potentially just to push, just keep pushing the upside. So for those reasons, we're gonna be hanging tight. See what we got. The short is not great either way, guys. Even if I wanted it on, we've already broken prior day high, but even if I wanted it on a break of this high, right? You know, maybe off of a big round psychological number, like the 49,000 evens could be an interesting spot to try a short. But a mean reversion play just back down to like, and I call it mean reversion. It's just describing them differently. Back down to VWAP, it wouldn't even be really a great risk structure, right? Like, you know, I would be fading all-time highs again for a move back down to VWAP, unless my thesis is that we just turn this into a big bearish day, which we certainly could, but that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Wait and see. If we start to break this high, I'll be looking at what happens around the 49,000 evens. If we start to sell off to the downside, got a little bit of news coming at 10? No. If we start to sell off to the downside, I'm not going to be in short unless I'm in short now. I'd be interested to see what happens as we come back here around the previous all-time high, if not this this zone that I have marked up, this discretionary area of interest to the downside here. So that's my analysis for today. Man, just a really strong market. Buying dips in this over the last couple weeks would have really paid. I've caught some of that. I was really bullish down in here. And I was trying to catch longs on this. Down here, not nearly as bullish as I could have been. Just reading this price action market structure, and certainly not yesterday. And there's definitely a bit of review. Like I really didn't like my first short. I really liked my second short. Market just did not give it to me. I think on another day, coin flip, you know, we're 5 points lower, and I'm a max profit on that little account that I was trading. But outside of that, you know, obviously hindsight, when you look at a move like this, you know, reviewing after FOMC, where we consolidated, we've pulled back, we pushed to the upside, we broke out of the zone, pulled back down in pre-market to the middle ground there, and now we're starting to push to the upside. It begs the question, do I want to be short? Also taking into consideration the really strong market that we've had prior to this, right? Begs the question, do I want to press these shorts? So a little bit of review. I don't know. Take the short button off my computer. That's all I can come up with. But you know, these types of days, I think, play really well for. And I've actually thought a lot about this. I don't want to ramble too much into the morning. I'll read some questions. I'll come back to some back testing and talking about some things I'm thinking about coming into 2026 the way that I trade intraday on the US indices with prop firm accounts, sim accounts, live accounts, even my own personal live accounts that have to be out by end of day, or you have to carry a pretty big balance to hold multiple minis maybe overnight. The way that I've looked at trading different financial instruments in order to get that done that are more friendly for overnight holding, and then maybe how I want to try to adjust here on the lower time frames for these intraday moves, right? We'll talk about that. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So waiting for the market to open up. Let's see what we got. Let's see. King Trader, what's up? Wolf, what's up? NHO Profit, Grand Rising. I love that, Grand Rising. Entered ES short a bit ago. Would not have imagined this dump. Is it dumping? Selling off a little bit, yeah. Look at that. Filled some liquidity to the downside here. Looks like we might want to keep going. Keep YM opened up. Yeah, 49,000 evens. If I was going to try a short, man, it would be up there. If I was going to run a short on this, I would have to do it with half risk. I do not have it in me to take a full L. It would have to be a half risk short if I was going to try it, as to not miss out on a potential good opportunity. But it would be half risk. From way up there. But even that, I really just don't like that trade. Just don't like it. So, good morning, everyone. Chris, what's up? Happy Friday, RDF fam. Yo, Daniel, what's up? What's going on? On Kick, what's going on? Yo, stop spamming the Kick chat. No, we don't want you to bot my stuff up. Hey, everybody, we're running a special holiday promotion. No, don't do that. No, ban you. You have to get banned now. Ban. What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to the show. Dr. FP, what's up? You got a bunch of people on here today. Starboy, what's up? Redbeard, good morning. Sell off. Looking short in this market, man. Maybe. NQ looking very different. So, if I was trading NQ today, I'd probably have a very different, different analysis coming into the morning. Good morning, Adam. What's up? Long, man. When are we gonna have sell days? It's exhausting, longing every day. Even if you don't win, if you keep longing throughout the day, you will close good, of course. If your system, not random longs. Yeah. In a really strong market, in a really strong bullish market, man, it's, the buy and hold with a wide stop loss, or the buy with tight stop losses and continually try to drag or even add in, can work really, really well. It's drastically different trading than consolidating choppy back and forth markets. We are not always so dang strong like this. And, if you turn into that breakout trader, it can work really, really well. But there's a balance. There's a balance of either to try to adjust or to at least just take your foot off the gas, because whatever your approach, whatever your style is not really playing too nice with you. Anyway, I'm going to mark this because it's the only area that I'm looking at. Got some liquidity up here too, and then nothing above, like really not much above at all, which is kind of interesting to see. So we'll see. I'm bearish still, not taking this buy this time. What's up? No, that was before market open. The short comment. Okay, what's good, guys? Had a bad week of trading this week, but the lives are keeping me going. Tom, what's up, brother? Sorry that you had a bad week of trading. I had a pretty trash week of trading. Talked about it quite a bit with you guys, but really just a couple L's on the sim accounts that I was getting started on that challenge before, really just ending it before I even got started. No trades in this live account at all, but we're back on the live account. We'll see what we can do. Feeling like a little bit of missed opportunity, to be honest, on this one. Quite a bit of trading outside of futures itself for me, which has paid, but quite a bit of missed opportunity on these big pushes out of YM into the open. Tom, what's up? Missed y'all yesterday, but there's consolidation zones. Are they lasting? But these consolidation zones, are they lasting longer during the mornings than they usually do? Bored last night because I couldn't be in the morning. Got myself an MQ long, hopefully for a turnaround today. We'll see. Juan, what's up? Morning, Omega. What's good, Dwayne? Yeah, what's going on, guys? Yeah, Pam, I don't fully understand that one as much. Are we looking at the consolidation zones? Are they lasting longer during mornings than they used to? I don't know that we have big consolidation zones that are lasting any longer than anything else. What we've really had off of the open here, if you just look at Wednesday and then Thursday, is just big pushes immediately off the open, right? So like really aggressively off the open. Overnight session in general, if that's what you're referring to, is rather choppy. It does tend to be, Asia tends to be really choppy, just kind of slow consolidating movement. Not always, sometimes it's a really clean trend. As far as London goes, also usually kind of choppy consolidating price action. But maybe you get a little bit more movement out of London. But if that's what you're referring to, that's about the same. Yeah, this is interesting. So ES and NQ rolling over, like getting ready to break the lows of the day, pushing down through the lows. Same with NQ here, not looking nearly as strong. YM kind of just living in its own world as it has been, pushing to the upside. But trying to break this pre-market high, trying to push the highs of days higher. Again, if I'm going to take anything up here, I could see a potential short off this level. I don't love it. I don't love it. I think there's going to be a lot of liquidity up here. We could easily start to put these big cracky wicks in, as we come through major highs. Which we didn't really do that yesterday. We kind of just smoothly broke through. But sometimes when we come up here to a level like this, where this is the high, right? This is the bad boy. We get like a wicky move, like a print in the split second, right? We just rip through some liquidity up there. We just go and rip through stops. Haven't really done that. Oh God, do I have to short this again, guys? I think I have to. I really think I have to. I'm getting exhausted with this market. We'll have to see. We'll see what happens when we come up into the 49,000 evens. Super big round psychological number, obviously. Above pre-market high would present a little bit of a risk structure for a short. If we're going to move long, this might have been all we needed to do. We came right in close to prior day volume point of control. We swept pre-market low. I'm just breakout traders. This is a breakout trader's dream, right? Hop on the 1 minute chart, start buying into it. Just hold on to it. We'll have to see. Good morning, guys. Good morning. What's up? Ready for the weekend? Same train. I hate the weekend, but thankful for the rest. Yeah. I see. I guess I'm looking at the Tuesday, Wednesday ATRs versus this week, versus Thursday. Yeah. ATR is going to change pretty rapidly, in the markets. Volatility is going to continue to change. I think using the ATR could be really good, and looking at the average true range, right, during the session that you're trading on the same time frame. I just like to be kind of twitchy with my measurement tool, and I just measure day over day, session over session, different movements, and that kind of gives me a feel for where we're trading. A little bit easier if you're on the same instrument every day, the way that I am. I really just stare at one at a time, right? If I make some changes, I stare at ES for a long period of time, or I stare at NQ for a long period of time, get a good feel for it. But average true range can be really important, especially if you're swapping between a lot of different contracts or indices or metals, because the price action on the market structure is going to look the same, right? Your trading view chart or whatever chart you're on is going to adjust that price action to make it look really similar. But I did a boatload of back testing last night. Just did a long back test, really just a trading view replay mode session. It was pretty fun. And when you go through rapidly, drastically different periods of volatility, it can really sneak up on you. If you're not using a measurement tool or an ATR, all of a sudden you enter an order, you go to drag out your stop loss, and you're like, what in the world is going on? Why is my risk quadruple here? Right? We definitely had that this year. We had some massive jumps in volatility, right? Big, huge jumps in the ATR. We were putting huge candles in across these indices. It was pretty gnarly. And then of course we die down, right? We get slower, choppy, consolidating sessions where you go, well, I gotta size up. I really gotta, I gotta size up and tighten my stop loss relative to this volatility. So important to do, important to note. It's been somewhat consistent, I'd say, over the last couple of months. It hasn't been like, it's been these insane jumps and changes. Where was the last portion where we had some really big? Yeah, down here. This down here from last month, we saw some nice big jumps here. Where else was pretty gnarly? Yeah, this in here was gnarly. What was this, October? Yeah, middle of October. We were putting some big candles in here, some big session ranges. This was pretty big. Man, we didn't even crack pre-market high. I definitely can't take this one, but if we pop up here, guys, I'm gonna take this one short. If we pop up here, I really don't want to, but I have to apply some consistency for long enough to decide that I don't want to apply consistency anymore and make a major change. It's going to be faded an all-time high, which is a pretty gnarly move. But there's selling opportunities off of all-time highs, right? I made a meme about it that went viral. It was super funny. It's that, like, why do you keep shorting all-time highs? I'll pull it up in a second. But like look at this opportunity, right? Here's all-time high from November, right? Here in YM. We open up here, right? And this would be a short of all-time high, right? We open up here down below VWAP after not even sweeping it. We test VWAP a couple times, and then what do? Right into the open. This is the NYSE session, right? Where's 930? Yeah, that's 930. We sell off 800 points, right? Like, big move to the downside. And then what do we do from there? We sell off another 700 points. And then what do we do from there? Does this always happen? No, of course not, right? But, it begs the question, are you shorting in here and getting cooked? And then you're shorting in here and getting cooked? And then you shorted, here and you got cooked because we continue to pop. Do you have it in you? Do you have the capital left? Do you have the reserve to short this again? It's tough. It's tough. So anyway, I'm looking at the 49,000 evens. I'm not going to touch this before that. If we sell off from here below this level, before cracking above this level, in fact, I'm not going to be in anything. If we come down here, I could see a long. I don't know that we have a huge correction today where we just dump like we did in that last example. I could see a pull back down, right, to test these highs right into this area. Some buyers to step in and then to kind of just settle up here. Maybe not blasting through the highs, but settle up here with, maybe a smaller bearish candle on the day, right back in here, something like that. I don't think that would be unreasonable to end this week. Man, if we go up and test this high, I'm still going to look forward to the downside. So we'll see. We will see, but nothing yet. That makes sense. Keep it simple. Absolutely. On ES, I don't believe in long anymore, at least until after lunch. Let's see. That's a hard stance, but sure. Hopefully NQ will bounce off VWAP. Second deviation band. Ooh, there you go. Looking for a longer so. Nice. Dwayne's using some VWAP standard deviation bands. Really nice technical indicator there, if that's your forte. NQ to prior day low. There we go. NQ selling off. It's got a low way to go there, but it's making the case for it. Opening up. Failing to get back above VWAP. Holding down below. Could pull back up here. Just kind of chop around. I don't know. We could see some chop out of these as well, guys. ES looking pretty weak. Already moving this to the downside. Sorry, guys. Don't mean to be too twitchy here. There we go. Adjust my chart. Let's see. Appreciate you guys for hopping on. If you're new here, welcome to the show. I'm here 9:15 a.m. Eastern every damn day. Here on YouTube, Kick NX. 100% free. No course, no VIP, no mentorship, none of that crazy stuff. I'll show you what trading looks like for me. Wins, losses, break-evens, frustration, triumphs, everything in between. Sloth Fathers, the last day before contract change. Not sure what volume is going to be like. Yep. It's going to be interesting, guys. Going to be interesting. Coming into that rollover like we talked about for the 15th. Right? Could be interesting. Could be interesting. We could get some movement next week with that as well, though. Gold did good in London. RDF. Gold flew in London. Yeah. Yeah, everybody hopped on gold this year. All-time highs are crazy. That they are. So kind of just chopping here so far. Really not much of anything here on YM. I do not think we stay within a 148-point range here. Not, we have plenty of room to move to the upside or downside before we get close to an average daily range, average session range. Does that mean we can't put a 150-point candle in? Of course, we could do whatever we want. But as you can see, so what these candles look like day over day, we got plenty of room to move here. So I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it either way if we do start to come outside of this consolidation. But I feel like when we are very tight coiled in like this, you're flipping a coin. You got a good opportunity to get that coin flip right? Because we do have potential movement to the upside or downside, but I feel like you're flipping a coin, and a stop loss just outside of this can easily be taken. You could say long because strong bullish trend. You could say short because we cracked above all-time high, cracked above prior day high. We tried to test pre-market. We couldn't get up there, and we want to go to the downside. You can make the case for pretty much any trade at any time. I find that really easily done. But for me, it's not a lot of direction, not a ton to trade off of just yet. So, patience, spelled P-A-Y, patience. Let's see we got rolling. Let's see what we get, Chatty McChat chat.
Don't stop.
Interesting action out of ES here. Looking weak, man. Looking pretty damn weak, ES. Is it just going to be another dip before we blast off? Like, is that going to be the move here again? I don't know. Kind of feeling a little bit of hesitation from the market here coming into the open before it figures out what it wants to do. Buyers trying to hold this up, but it kind of feels like we want to take this thing lower. YM continuing to show significantly more strength all through this week than these other U.S. indices, which is not always the case. YM seems to be just all over the place, choppy in its own world, but a lot of strength once it started moving. Let's see. This is a whole lot of nothing so far to YM. Real deal futures of the truth. me try to sell courses to those great person platform. Appreciate you. Thanks, man. Yeah, I have fun on here with you guys. I really do. Grateful. Very grateful to have this community. Very grateful to have these live streams growing every damn day. It's insane how many people we have coming on these live streams. Really across platforms. It's nuts. Didn't expect to get this rolling. Started streaming beginning of last year. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Over 2,000 members in a Discord. Link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want to check that out. It's awesome, man. It's really awesome. But yeah, I don't claim to, I try to repeat this stuff over and over again. I don't claim to be the best trader. I don't claim to have it all figured out. I don't have some magic strategy or system or some amazing thing to tell you how amazing everything is. And you just need to give me $19.99 and I'll tell you what that is. I like to share what real trading looks like for me. I think I've got some juice. I've been in the game for a while. I've achieved a lot of the things that I've set out to achieve. I still have a long way to go. I still make mistakes, right? I still am learning every single day. I remain a student of the game. But I'm happy to share what that looks like with you guys. Hopefully provide some value to you. I think most in this space or any other space that tell you that they're the best, they have it all figured out, no one is better, number one, and just buy this thing that I have, that usually is just a bunch of BS, right? Almost always, without fail. In fact, I don't know anybody that's the best that constantly screams that they're the best. Not usually what you see. But what do I know? I can only speak for myself. So anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. Live streaming every damn day. And doing a whole bunch of more content coming up across socials, man. Instagram and X. As well as here on YouTube. Long form videos, dropping multiple tutorials. Talking about the Trade-O-Vate Trading View grand swap over that we have coming. Sharing a whole bunch of that. Trading more accounts that are on those. We're making more tutorials. Yeah, I'm just watching this thing, man. This is kind of interesting. This is interesting, chat. This is really interesting. Really interesting. Let's see. IB times 2. Hit IB. Ooh. Chop. Oh. Chop, and drop. Maybe you're looking bearish on this, man. You're gonna be one of the few, but maybe if I have to take a short, you'll be on my side, so I appreciate that. Platinum had big rises as well. Yeah. Nice, Dwayne. I gotta be smart. Yeah. There's like, if you want to swap over to another indice, if you want to trade something, you want to trade another instrument, I think like that's cool. That makes sense. But I watched like everybody hop on gold this year, and I'm like, so interesting. Like, let's all jump on the huge the instrument that's having a huge movement. And if it fits your style, if it fits your approach, maybe. But I think it's a lot of like monkey see, monkey do, and or trying to chase like the hot product, right? Like as soon as a stock puts like hundreds of % return in, a huge movement, all of a sudden now everybody wants to buy that. It's like, well, you're kind of too late, right? You weren't on that when it counted. You weren't there for the movement for the last, multiple months. Is there more to be had? Sure. But are you ready to capitalize on that? Do you have a system and an approach that, you are trading on that day in and day out, or are you just trying to, jump in and grab, what everybody else is trying to grab? So I saw a lot of people start trading gold and then hop off trading gold. It's very, very interesting. And I've seen that before a lot, right? See it a lot in the stock market. All of a sudden, like, everybody wants to talk about whatever the big tech stock is, right? Or, some the big insane stuff that's making the huge move. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but, you're kind of late. You're kind of late to that game right now. The risk to reward is significantly less than it was when you were taking that risk on before it started to make this movement, or even during the movement, and not 3 or 4 months after the huge push to the upside. So, interesting to see. Stay away from that JC and silver. Close out the week green. Thank God. Nice. Yep. Good luck chasing. Yeah, commodities are big no for me. Yeah, again, there's nothing wrong with any of them, right? There's guys that just trade gold. There's plenty of traders that just trade gold. But what I'm referring to is like the chasing the shiny object, right? all of a sudden something looks really good and everybody else is talking about it, and you go, oh, well, that's all I have to do, right? Probably not. Probably not. If you want to experiment with different stuff, you want to try different things, for sure. But find what works for you. It's uncommon, I find, that all of a sudden everybody at the same time has something that's going to work well for them, right? We do have really big bullish runs across different instruments. And if part of your game plan and your approach to trading, whatever market that you're in, futures, for example, is to scan and look for markets that are breaking out, and you're going through multiple different contracts, 20 different instruments every day, or you're at least checking, some different things. And then, if one starts to break out and run or move fast or volatility increases, whatever it is, you trade that, then you should have been on gold, right? You should be trading gold. But if you don't do that at all, if that's not part of your MO, to just out of nowhere be like, oh, platinum is having a big run, I'm going to trade that. And I don't ever trade platinum. And my approach is completely custom tailored to NQ, for example, off of the open. But all of a sudden, I'm going to trade platinum all day long in a completely different way. Maybe it works really well for you, but for the most part, I think maybe you capitalize on some nice wins, and then it starts to go south quickly. That's my 2 cents. That's my thought. Try not to chase. Right? There's a lot of chasing that can be done in the market. A lot of FOMO. Yeah, man, this thing looks like it wants to come to the downside. ES and NQ dumping, rolling over. YM, no test to these 49,000 evens, not even breaking through this low, still holding a ton of strength. I think if we start to go all the way down here, could be the movement. I'm not going to get short this. No setup for me here on YM. Nice breakout movements on the other two, but I'm gonna hold on this one. Hold on this one for now. And I'll yap about something, right? Because I figured I would clip this, or I could always tell people go back and watch it live. So I was talking a little bit earlier about my style of trading, right? Trading here on YM, what works really well for me. What works even better than having to close out intraday for me when I go back and test, or when I do it on in other markets, is holding through the overnight session, right? I had a really tough example of that in here, where I was very, very, very bullish. I was taking buys every day and getting either stopped at break even or a couple $100. And it wasn't until we finally started to get some movement that I didn't find my way in again. But had I just been getting long and building a position, I would have been able to potentially capture, a lot of movement to the upside. Intraday, it can be tricky, right? I am going for the larger intraday movement. It can be tricky, right? What I find is I've been trying to figure it out in my own personal live account. Now I've been trying to figure it out a little bit on options. It's been a fun journey to start that out. Traded crypto and stocks, futures, Forex quite a bit. Zero options. Placed my first couple trades over the last couple weeks, which has been a fun journey. I fully expect to lose money there first as I learn. But anyway, what I question often, and I've done this a lot in the past and I've gone back and forth, is whether or not trying to come up with, right, and get good at and build experience on smaller intraday price movements makes more sense for the futures market, especially on the US indices. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm going to continue to do a lot of testing. Usually when I start talking about this, you know you're going to see a little something from me. I'm going to continue to do a lot of testing. YM has worked exceptionally well for me, and I really want to be cautious of changing something when it's working well. But I traded ES for a long period of time on the low time frames. I really did enjoy that. I had a drastic underperformance with it as I started to zoom out a bit this year, but I had a lot of solid performance coming into the futures market, and then really getting a lot of momentum on ES on low time frames. More of a try to trade with the price movement that's occurring on lower time frames all the way to higher time frames. More of a breakout than a reversion style. and specifically adding into winners, starting to build a position, adding in around the entry. I shouldn't even say adding into winners, as the trade continues to seem like it's working out. Dragging stop losses down with you. It's a very drastically different style of trade management. It's very discretionary, and it's somewhat aggressive. But I have to question, on some of these movements that I see day in and day out. Am I trying to do something that would be so much better suited if I could just hold all the way through the close and hold for multiple days, right? Not swing trading for weeks at a time, but maybe a couple days. Or am I doing something that is tailored to intraday trading? So obviously on prop firms, you don't have an option to hold. Whether you want to or not, it's not an option at all, right? So, if you're going to scale and build and try to capitalize on opportunities almost every day, how can that be done? So anyway, this is just some thoughts that continue to rattle around in my mind. I am not a stagnant person. I don't find myself finding comfort even when I get really good results rolling. I'm always kind of curious and testing, not chasing the shiny new thing like we're just talking about, not strategy hopping, not doing something so drastically different, but trying to challenge myself and asking these tough questions sometimes, right? So ES selling off here as I'm yapping about this. ES selling off here. YM starting to break the low. Again, a little bit different, right? Kind of an approach would be, we're on low time frames, right? And okay, we start to break this low. I think we're likely to retest this low. I'm going to start building a short position right in here, and I'm going to go with a tight stop loss to start. And this, for example, would be let's say 5 micros, right? If this gets filled, this is kind of just an example, right? Maybe we come up here, we hit this, we just frame it without it even happening, right? Because I'm going to trade the breakout. I'm going to trade the movement to the downside, and I'm going to start to add in as we fall. Maybe take a full loss or a break even if we don't get hit. Okay, maybe we're filled there, right? We blast back up through the highs. You're out for a full loss. But maybe we start to continue. We start to continue the downside, right? And I say right here, stop sell order, right? If we start to come through this low, I'm going to add in. I'm going to double my position size, and I'm going to drag stop loss halfway down. And then you can continue to do that. And then maybe just capitalize on a movement from here to here. Whoa. Here to, here, let's say, on a very low time frame. And that could be a really big win because now you've added in here and maybe here as well, right? As we've come lower, you've drug stop loss down. You've kept it really tight. The downsides of this, you're really zoomed in just to talk about the double-edged sword. When it works out nicely, you look like a genius. I got plenty of clips of doing it. When it works out nicely, it feels really good. It looks really good, right? Like we can frame this one out. Like let's say, so we're in with 5 micros. We can watch how this trade plays out. The downside of it, the double-edged sword, you're trading with tight stops on low time frames, right? You're trying to scalp this really noisy price action in between. Oftentimes you're going to take a full stop out here. You try it again. You take another full stop out. You're like, oh, man, this is like I should just be zoomed out and run a wide stop. The other downside is as you scale in, you are into a winner potentially. You are increasing your risk. If you don't want to increase the dollar amount, you will have to drag your stop loss down. That will often result in a trade that moves in your favor and then back to stop you out. Those can be kind of frustrating. You really do need price to move somewhat in a fast direction in one way. And that comes after breakouts, right? It comes with breakdowns or breakouts to the upside. But again, this occurs, this opportunity, at least this setup occurs almost every day. Okay, so let's frame this one out, right? So we were at a 100-point stop. Now we'd be at a 50-point stop. Our entry would actually have moved to here, right? Our entry would now have moved to here. Now we'd be at a 50-point stop. And let's say we're going to get filled on another add-in right here. And this would let's say this would be our take profit. We get filled on another add-in right here. At this point, our entry would be even tighter. We would have to go stop loss even tighter. And we could see what adding into a winner would look like breaking down on YM. trading this approach for me had seemed to work best on ES. ES is just a little bit slower moving, a little bit tighter trending. YM's all over the place. It's back and forth. NQ can be really fast in one direction, but it's also drastically wicky back and forth, like all over the place. You know, I've tried a lot of different things on NQ, and it's just such a monster to work with. But you know, it's aggressive. Stuff like this is really aggressive, and when it doesn't work out over and over and over again, and you're trading choppy conditions, it can be exhausting, man. It can really be exhausting. And I also just don't like to be so zoomed in. I do have a lot more confidence off of, you know, higher time frames. I just can get a much better read for what we're doing relative to prior day, relative to the higher time frame, you know, movement that tends to push through on these low time frames than I can on a 1 minute chart, for example. So, you know, an example here looks like we would have gotten the add in, right? And looks like we're going to take an L. But you know, this is kind of the overarching thought process, right? And why am I having this thought process, right? It's going so damn well on YM. It's gone so well on YM. I'm trying to capitalize on that. And I'm looking at different ways to do that, especially in markets where I'm able to hold overnight without having so much rapidly changing margin requirements like you have in the futures market. It's just better suited for intraday trading. Yeah, still nothing for me in an actual trade. I know we're like having some fun. I'm just trying to make an example here. Still nothing for me for an actual trade, right? Otherwise, we'd be talking about it. A little dip to the downside here, and then a pop right back up. YM holding incredibly strong as these others have continued to push to the downside. Going to be interesting to watch. Definitely going to be interesting to watch. But yeah, just some thoughts. I wanted to be able to get that out. I could see what time it is and talk about it. You know, it could generate some changes from what you see from me here intraday. I'm going to be pretty slow to change anything or somewhat slow to change anything with any good amount of risk in this live account. If I'm going to do anything and start to make changes, it'll be on some pretty low risk until I get really comfortable. But it's some thoughts I've had coming into 2026. Try to do a lot of review. Let's see. Commodities are a big no for me. CFD prop rules are crazy for sure. Silver makes gold look chill. Platinum respects VWAP bands. Look at that during London. Yeah, I mean, anything I do is going to be based around price action, market structure, volume for the most part. It's the Greeks and options. Love them though. Yeah, dude, options are super confusing. To be honest, for me, I'm an idiot when it comes to like the way that I like to trade. Options are. There's so much more that goes into it, I think, than most other financial instruments. They are heavily leveraged. You can have really big percent returns on very small amounts of money. Not to say that there's not many other leveraged financial instruments, but it was interesting to watch the ability to trade U.S. indices, right? With options contracts. I also do quite a bit with just the regular stock stuff, and those seem like a very good potential opportunity for, you know, swing trading, like lower time frame movements, right? Something that you're not going to hold for months at a clip, or maybe, you know, more than months at a clip. Let's see. Even the firms are moving to futures. Yeah, move to crazy, called it. What do we call? Super firms are coming to futures and can't even run the CFDs properly, and they expect dispersion from them. Anyone trading the Russell had really good results this week after moving over from Forex. Nice. Quantic, I don't know what that is. I've never looked at Russ, to be honest. Nope. YM is an incredible performer. Yep. Yo, good morning, Nate. What's up? Yep. Just to be transparent, got 350K, no activation fee passed. Ever since I blew up my 3 XFAs 2 weeks ago, back to funded, adding 2 more 50K combines to trade with the next 3 XFAs next week. Nice work, Nate. Very nice work. Nice recovery, man. Keep it controlled. Keep it controlled. You know, after the big L's, after the blow-ups, I think keeping it controlled is really important. So again, if you guys hopped on late, because I see we got views climbing, Discord link, it's pinned to the top. Real Deal Futures up there, realdealfutures.com. It's the WAP link in there that says free community. Guys, if you're from some spot for some reason where you're being banned from using WAP, I'm not gonna be able to send the email and answer that 1,000 times. It's just a lot to do. I have to run it through a app that collects an email and prevents some scammers from coming in. You should be able to use it from India and any other country, or most other countries. If not, I'll try to help some people out when I can, but I can only spread my focus so thin. I'm trying to do so much for content and then actually trade and then actually set myself up with a different location for trading and streaming. And I took on way more than I could handle this week. Started to do a challenge that I was going to make content for, this short form content for every single day, along with live streaming, along with doing a ton of tutorials for Trade-O-Vate, TradingView, Top 1 Futures, along with running the community, along with doing podcasts and trading on other people's live streaming platforms like I was this week with Traders Post, preparing for in-person events and actually be able to focus on the markets and manage my own portfolios. It got myself in more than I thought. I drastically underestimated how much time it was going to take to be filming and editing those little videos that I was making. So I'll be doing fun stuff, but I'm going to have to at some point, and this is the point, kind of draw a line where I can be 100% available for every single thing across so many different platforms, and where I have to try to limit it a little bit. So don't worry, we got a new flyer today. Maybe we run a giveaway today. We got a new flyer today, guys, and it has all the instructions on the flyer, on the graphic. This way I don't have to repeat myself at all. Okay. So anyway, if you hopped on late, we're here trading YM on the 15-minute chart. This is a Top 1 Futures pre-live account on Project X. We are no trade. I talked about some of my questioning of and desire to hold trades even longer into the overnight session and what that might look like me doing in live accounts, what type of adjustment I might look to try to make here on the low time frames, whether or not I might try that on ES, which is something that I've been comfortable on the 1-minute chart before in the past, and what a trade idea and a setup might look like, because this presented itself just really well for the example. This was an initial trade, right? We talked about like an add-in, a breakout style, continuation, add into your winner type trade, right? Here would be the start, right at the break of these lows. We actually cracked, and I got in with would be getting in right here. I said, add in as we move into profit and then drag stop loss down. Would have put our entry somewhere right in here, right? Because this would be averaged if we doubled up our position size. In order to keep risk consistent, we would need to be dragging our stop loss down. We would need to cut our stop loss in half, right? Maybe we had $1,000 risk on the first position. Now we still have $1,000 risk on with double the position size. If we come down here, our stop loss is going to get drugged down a little bit further. Not quite in the middle, right? Because now we're maybe 10 contracts in. We're going to be adding another 5. But I'll show you exactly what this would look like. We can watch it play out for either a potential win. There we go. So we'd be filled, right? Maybe our entry gets moved all the way down here, and now we have to go even tighter with our stop loss, right? Maybe we're just able to go above those highs. That would be increasing our risk, right? We'd really have to be down here like this, like all the way down here like this. So let's try to actually be reasonable with it. And something like this, if we hit a take profit on something like this, or if price continues down, you've now started a position, right, with a fixed amount of risk, scaled into that position, doubled it, and then added another 50%, and the win is really outsized, right? Again, the drawback, because maybe this works out, and you're like, that sounds great, I'm going to do that tomorrow. What will this generate? A lot of this, right? You will have to accept a lot of paper cuts, and you probably would want to do this with, an amount of risk that would give you multiple trades per day, which if I was going to trade this way, another piece that I would do would be reduce risk per trade, and per trade idea. So you could try it multiple times, because it will generate a lot of this, right? You'll generate stuff where you go, okay, well, here's what it looks like after the fact, right? But had I just, we come back and do this, right? Everything's a double-edged sword in trading. It's going to look beautiful if we do this. You're like, wow, add into your winners, move your stop loss down, control risk. We do this, what's the immediate thought? Damn, brother, if I just went like this and I never touched the trade to begin with, right? I would have generated a win. I would have generated a full win instead of a full stop loss. So, there's always when people talk about trading styles, they talk about doing one thing over another, they often completely highlight what they're doing and how good it is, and they completely forget to talk about the downside, because there is a trade-off with almost everything. There is no like one clean path. So that's kind of the thought process on this type of stuff. So we'll see what this looks like. We'll see how this plays out. But let's go back to like what it potentially would be at this point. Would be something like this, right? Add it in multiple times. The beauty is you can control risk, right? You can get in heavier and heavier and heavier, and control risk on the way down. Maybe it's something like that, right? That would be a full stop out. But there's a trade-off, certainly a trade-off. Now, again, I think something like this, low time frames, like you could see what, this is the 1 minute, you can see what like NQ can look really good sometimes. When it really knifes, it can look good. But man, NQ can be a monster. It can really pull these big back and forth movements that can be tricky. Even something like that could be a problem. ES can do the same, but it tends to just trend a little bit tighter. It tends to be less exaggerated with pullbacks and just slower moving. It can kind of be like watching paint dry, to be honest. But it just tends to kind of slowly tick in its one direction, or if it's going to chop, it slowly ticks up and down. That can be a problem if you trade breaks and retest. It could be a problem if you wait for pullbacks to enter. An NQ might be better, and that's why I believe there's no one best, right? There's no one singular best instrument. It just depends on what your preference is, the style of trading that you're doing. So yeah, this one might be a really nice example to show. Again, I think YM, although I like YM, I would say out of all of them in general for higher time frames the most, it's very back and forth, very wicky and crazy movements on low time frames. Like you can see what this looks like on the 1 minute. We have drastic back and forth movements. Just the nature of the way that it trades, right? And you'd have to adjust to try to capitalize on that. But there you go. Like this would be an example, right? So we kind of framed that from the beginning in real time, where you would have been able to add into a position. You would have entered and then added in again. So 2 add-ins while controlling risk on the way down, and then take a big win, right? Or a rather full win, an outsized win. Again, double-edged sword, right? If you're going to do stuff like that, you have to be prepared for when the market, number one, the trade management we already talked about. The other double-edged sword with trading like this is you're betting on price moving in one direction, right? And you're entering at a pretty low point in price action. You need it to go right then and there. You need it to break out, right? And your risk, your initial starting risk should be rather high. It shouldn't be right in here. So on days where it chops, you often get killed. You get chopped up. You take multiple losses. On days where we break and run, you continue to try to buy into that strength. In the last few days on the U.S. indices probably would have been pretty nice. It works really, really well. Just like if you're trying to, trade reversals, what day is it going to work great? When we're chopping back and forth, when we're not breaking out and running in one direction, right? You keep buying the low and selling the high, right? On another trading system and approach, you go, this is a perfect long off of, volume point of control here from prior day, long off of a sweep of this low, and maybe on another day it's a beautiful movement where we push to the upside, right? So it just depends on your style, how you're trying to trade, what it is that you want to do. But this was a good example. I did want to be able to talk about that, so I'm thankful that we got this one to talk about. Again, I think it can be pretty frustrating to watch someone trade this. It can be pretty questionable to watch someone trade this, and I've traded a lot in the past. You typically will end up with doing this, adding in. You will end up with a lot. This is more of a Tom Hogarth style as well. You'll end up with a lot of losses, small losses, and break evens a lot. You will have a lot of trades that move into profit and come back on you. And it's not typically easy to stomach as a newer trader, right? Without a lot of confidence. The upside is when you win, you have outsized wins. You have really large wins. So what's the general, risk reward win rate set up with that? Fairly low win rate, maybe in the 30s, right? As far as a win rate goes, and then a high R multiple. Overall, you're going to really run a positive risk to reward. You're not going to be getting a 1-to-1. You're going to be getting, a larger R multiple, especially if you let the thing go. If you really are somebody that hangs on to it, but not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. And again, can be really, really difficult to trade when the market consolidates. It can be so frustrating. You get a couple weeks of chop, and you're like, dude, I'm ready to call it a day. So anyway, something that I've been given more thought for intraday trading here on the U.S. indices. I think if I was going to do that, and here's kind of my back end plan, if I was going to do more of a lower time frame aggressive approach, which I just don't enjoy as much, on the back end, I would be trading the U.S. indices. I would be trading YM specifically in live accounts for the same larger wide stop, wide take profit, level to level play that I've been doing here every day with you guys. Again, there's just an interesting dynamic where there's no holding overnight. Your trades are going to be closed out. So your movement has to happen, throughout the session. And even more so if we're trading NY, right? And we're in New York time zone, you got an 8-hour window to make that, or less, to make that play out, right? 9:30, 10 a.m., it's got to be done by 4. And just my data is showing I've just been timed out of a lot of trades that way. So anyway, I know I yap on these live sessions, guys. I talk, but I hope that this can be valuable in a certain way, because I now have hundreds and hundreds of hours. You could watch me progress as a trader. You could watch things change. You could watch me make changes and them go well or go poorly in real time, right? And I try to provide context, what my thought is, why I'm doing that. And you might go, hey, maybe I should be thinking about something similar, maybe not exactly the same, but where I am in my trading and, the way I want to structure my risk or utilize different instruments or trade different ways. You might say, nah, I don't like what that dude is doing at all. I'm going to do the opposite. That's not what fits my style or approach. But I try to talk about this stuff. I never liked when I was watching somebody and I'd go to watch them after a week or two of not watching, and everything's different, or they're talking about something completely different, but they're not sharing why. Continue to adjust, continue to adapt as a trader, continue to get better. But I think sharing the why, right? Sharing the context behind it can be helpful. So something I just want to look at on this is here's what the movement on YM looked like for this move to the downside. Here's what the movement on ES looked like really, really clean. NQ also pretty damn clean today, but more aggressive, knife drop and then, pull back and then knife drop again. Yeah, but as you could see, just kind of also lining up for this example, because sometimes YM moves in one direction. On the low time frames, YM's often a mess. It's just really aggressively wicky back and forth, and you just don't get as much of that. And again, this is my subjective interpretation of price action, right? Might not agree. So anyway, that's some thoughts. Good example that played out there. Yo, stop spamming the chat, Sanjay. Stop spamming the chat. I already answered that question. Let's go back to the beginning. Nice work, Nate. Discord link. Thanks for helping me out. Zach, my orb was an hour early. Use Forex London. Ah, yeah. There we go. Important. Nothing is free and risk-free in the world. No, we were talking about different trading styles where, you're going to add somewhere and take away somewhere else. Took profit on NQ short. Hey, Zach, silver makes NQ look like eating sand. Come on, Wolf. Cut my trade way too short. Should have let it run. Close partials. Pretty much missed out on 3x profits. Ask yourself, right? What's the trading approach? What are you going to try to do every day? At least you were green, though. I was in the phone and missed 60. That's true. Something just got to work next time. A dip and a reversion here, guys. I don't know. Maybe through the highs on this. Nothing on this for yet from you guys. Yeah, and then the person that spammed the link. Oh. Yeah, we talked about it. Oh. I can't make everybody happy, guys. I try, but I can't make everybody happy. So let's see what we get from here, guys. Pulling back up on this pretty aggressively here on YM. Just to look at the others, super nice movement out of ES and NQ to the downside. I don't know that everybody was expecting that today. Some buyers stepping in. I really don't have a move on YM. You know, if your goal was to buy a dip, maybe on Dow and run it through the highs for the Friday rally, that could be your opportunity right there, right? Stop below low of day. Here we go back towards VWAP. You say, I think we're going to break and continue. I don't think there's anything super inherently wrong with that. It didn't come down to an area of interest. If we dipped really aggressively down here, hit the zone, came back through the prior all-time high over here, right, and into this area consolidation, like I talked about, I'd be tempted to try it. I'd be tempted to try it long right in here. I think that would give me a really, really good, clean way to structure risk where I'm either right here or we drop all the way down through to the bottom. Here, I don't know what we're going to do. Not that I know what we're going to do here, but just I don't have as good of a way to structure risk in here. But so far, looking weak, right? Tried to push up here a couple times. Dip to the downside. Retest near VWAP, near this area of high volume, near prior day volume point of control. Do we sell off from here? Kind of interested. I think the closest thing that I'm going to have to a trade, guys, if we start to come back down really aggressively on this, I may look for that continuation style that I've taken before with you, which would be a move to the downside. Really just continuing structure. I don't know though. I really don't know on this one if I want that. This is dicey. Always dicey after a huge move, right? Always dicey after a really big push in one direction. You know, it makes structuring risk very unique. Ducks, W, tricky markets, small pop on NQ. Yep. Let's see what we got, chat. Let's see what we got. Oh my god. What is up with these dudes on Kick today? Yo, what is happening on Kick? Why are you guys spamming the chat? Yo, stop spamming. Oh my god. Bunch of spammers. All right, hang on. Banned. Oh my god. Sorry for you guys on Kick. Hang on. Banned. Sorry for you guys on Kick. What in the world? Oh, really? Kickstaff _6051. There's a special promotion running. Ridiculous. Sloth Father, what's up, dude? You were the one dealing with this. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Ah, the pleasures of streaming. What is going on? Oh, anyway, nobody click on those links. Obviously, that's a scam. You couldn't figure that out from looking at it. Morning, guys. What's up, Mike Z? Sloth Father, locked in profits on the slope on the push down. Nice. I really like to hear your commentary. Really helps me make sure my own thought process is in line with better trades myself. Awesome. I appreciate it. That's what I do, right? That's what I do here. I try to articulate and word vomit on all you guys. But in a solo show, right, it's just here. There's entertainment where I could just be jumping up and down and screaming or doing crazy stuff, which sometimes we have some fun, run some duck races. But I really try to just think out loud, try to tell you exactly what I'm thinking over and over and over again as the day wears on, so you can understand exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. You can see what I do and how I do it in real time, and then you can watch the result, right? And you can decide if any of that is helpful, any of that process is helpful. It's the stuff that I wanted from traders when I was watching them trade live. I don't want after-the-fact screenshots of your $100,000 P&L. That doesn't help me at all. It just frustrates me. I don't want after-the-fact trades with no explanation. I don't know why you did what you did. I have no idea, right? I don't want after-the-fact anything. I want to see it done live in real time, so it's verifiable. It's the only way it's verifiable. Everything else is BS. And I need you to tell me why the hell you're doing what you're doing so I can try to wrap my head around it, right? You know, it could be stupidly simple, but to create an understanding of where the reasoning behind it is coming from, the why, and then watch it play out and see the winners and the losers. That was the stuff that was so valuable. And I only got that from a few. When I was really coming up. But they were out there. And that's what I try to emulate here. They also had fun, joked around a lot more than me, the guys that I was watching and hanging out with. But got to see the winners and losers play out live. I got to explain why. I got to hear why, even if it was stupidly simple. I got to watch the trade management. And that stuff to me was incredibly helpful. Far more helpful than anything else that I had come across. Books, I should say far more helpful. Psychology books, incredibly helpful as well. That stuff was super duper helpful. But pre-made videos explaining things outside of tutorials or even backtesting, which is why I do tutorials and backtesting, like that wasn't that helpful. Like explanations of strategies and just all the cherry-picked good results, like that's not helpful. P&Ls even is not at all. It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't, it doesn't show me how the hell you're doing what you're doing. So I tried to make this what I wanted, right? What I found value in. Obviously, why would I do something different? Do something different to make more money, but I have a conscience, I guess. So anyway, that's what I do here, guys. Talk about trading, show you my trading, show you what real trading looks like for me. Also try to have some fun, answer questions, give out accounts, talk market commentary, right? All entertainment purposes only. No trading recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. You guys know the disclaimer. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. This is all for fun. But yeah, that's what I try to do. And we got an awesome community. And I think there's a reason that why I'm growing so rapidly this year. Why I'm almost at 14,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's effing crazy. Well over 100 concurrent now across platforms. It's insane. So I think other people find value. Big surprise. I find value in it. I, emulate that. And other people find value in it. Big surprise, right? I think other stuff is really entertaining and really fun to watch. Maybe, maybe not as helpful on the trading itself. And I get that too. I used to like to watch really entertaining stuff. There's only so much Zach you want to watch talking about, okay, where's price to VWAP? You're like, oh my gosh. I'm sure some days you're like, all right, dude, just tell a joke or something. Just jump up and down or do something stupid. No, there's a balance. But anyway, watching this come back to VWAP here, guys. I'm still no trade. Maybe we come through the high on this. I just not a great opportunity. I have multiple levels marked up today. You can see where they are. 49,000 evens. If we pop to the upside, I was looking short off of that. We come back through the high after this dip. Don't want to touch that. Really don't want to touch that. To the downside, this was coming off of, let me zoom out on the 4 hour. This is coming off of really nice high time frame levels. Prior highs broken yesterday from November 12th. And this area of consolidation, I felt we could dip down here, present a really nice risk to reward opportunity, right? To just come back to the high, if not higher, or to say, hey, nope, you're dead wrong. I think if we got through this, if we broke through this, right, to the downside, where would we go next? Here, quickly. I don't think we would just hang out in the middle of this area of low volume and just do nothing. I think we'd come down here, and in fact, it would be a big, down day. This, to me, right here, right now, we are opening up to the downside. We've got our IB high and low. We come back through this high. It looks like lights out. It looks like Santa Rally. We can mark up our IB high and low right now. In fact, did I have an IB high and low on here? Hang on. Yeah, it's gonna be way low. Nice. This way I don't have to redraw it. Ah. No. There we go. There we go. There we go. Chatty McChat. But let me know how you guys are doing in chat. What do we got going on today? Taking wins, taking losses. How are we looking? I'm no trade. Frustrating week. A little bit of a frustrating start to this month. 2 weeks really. But I'm coming off of a really nice performance. Really an overperformance. And last thing I want to do is do anything too crazy and start giving back a whole bunch of gains. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking in chat. So IB high and low, initial balance high and low. Yeah, we come through this high. I think we're going, man. I think we're going to 49,000 evens. I don't know if we really push. You know, we break out to the downside. Do I then think that we flip this bullish? No. So, you know, the opportunity is in here for, you know, for a coin flip, right? You know, bulls in town get long through VWAP, break IB high, hit, you know, 49,000 evens. Like, that's not terrible. It's not terrible, right? That'd be $1,000 right there. Or you say, nope, stop right above IB high into this level. You know, we break out to the downside, we're correcting. So not a terrible way to structure risk from in between this. I don't like it as much. I don't like it as much, chat. So I don't think I'm going to do anything, man. This is painful patience that I'm going to have to exercise. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Small hub. Hey, new here. Do you only trade YM? Would you recommend looking at one or a couple of instruments? Look at one, in my humble opinion, my humble biased opinion. I think you're gonna be better at looking at one. You know, decide on what you want to trade, test a couple different things, and then stick to one. I think you become much better at one than you would at 5, right? I think you'll be 1/5 as good. So especially if you're on low time frames, which almost everybody's on the 1 minute chart. It's crazy. That's my 2 cents. Hey, what's up, Raul? What's going on? Zach, needs to mark chart with fair value gaps. Nope. We don't use imbalances here, which is the rebranded name for fair value gap. Fair value gap is the rebranded name for imbalance on a candlestick chart. Yeah, Jack breakers will transform your life. I don't know what that is. I don't know who or what that is. Hi, what's up? Oh, maybe a book. Psychology book? What's up, guys? So opposite of what NQ is doing. Yeah, NQ selling off, I guess. Live trading is best way not to hurt the public because sometimes the thing is marketed as easy money and yes and no. Sit in a live trade and get experience. Yep. Yeah, you know, there's a saying that goes, if you want to be a rich man, lie to people that want to be lied to. If you want to make a living, tell the truth to people that want to hear the truth. And if you want to go broke, tell the truth to people that want to be lied to. Think about that one. A lot of times, I feel like I am here telling the truth to people that want to be lied to. And the people that are lying to everybody that wants to be lied to are the ones that blow up, have exceptional growth, and do incredibly well, right? I try to find people that want to hear the truth in the first place and tell the truth to people that want to be lied to either way. This looks like we're going to move to the downside off of VWAP here, guys. Gun to my head, I'm short. I'm not going to get short on this, though. I don't like it. It's not a beautiful risk structure. I'd be right outside of IB high, but that would be the trade. Do I want this? Hang on, guys. Do I want this? Do I want to accept this risk? No, I'm not going to take this. I'll leave it framed up. But right here is where I would be getting short. Right here is where I'd be getting short, right? Retest to VWAP, aggressive turn to the downside, CVD dropping off now on YM. ES continuing to push lower on a declining cumulative volume delta. Although I don't trade these in correlation, it's worth noting, for you guys, and it's something I'm noting over here to the left-hand side. If we are going to break out of IB low, I don't think we're coming to break IB high, and vice versa. We're headed back down to IB low, which we formed second, which is more likely to break first. We have bearish structure. We've got an area to the downside that I think is really likely to go and retest if we don't want to just come back through this high, which so far we're looking like we don't want to. Could have a way to allow price to come and dance up here, right? Even maybe test this with like a 200-point stop that I like to run, and have a really clean invalidation point where you say, hey, I'm dead wrong. Like I talk about, I like to be dead wrong. If we do this, I'm completely wrong. It was a buy the dip opportunity. If we break to the downside, I think you could capture more than a 1-to-1, right back down to these highs, if not, all the way down here, about halfway down through yesterday's candle, not even. There's our halfway point. I think we could get that. I think we could definitely get that. I'm not going to take it. I don't like this from the middle of the zone trade. I just don't have that good of an indication today. I have to acknowledge that it also, I would be lying to myself. I'm getting a little bit exhausted shorting this market. My data is screaming at me to stop pressing the sell button. That doesn't mean I haven't taken short wins. It doesn't mean that today is not going to be a short, which is usually the one that is a win after you've taken loss after loss after loss, where you catch the big move to the downside. I just don't know that I have it in me. I don't know that I have it in me to take another loss and be comfortable taking it. So, I think there's probably going to be a little lack of execution because this is not terrible. And maybe on another week where I didn't lose short every other day and get my face ripped off multiple times yesterday, maybe I'm taking it. But that comes back to the review that I was talking about in the beginning. How can I maybe not do that so I have the reserve to actually be ready for it when it sets up? But here's the trade. I'm going to frame it. I'll pay attention to it. If there's one, that would be it to the downside. I don't run a fixed risk to reward, but in an account where I don't have a consistency rule, but something like that. But I don't want it. I don't want this one today. I just would rather preserve capital and take a loss on a day where I'm a bit more confident in the price action market structure. But that's the whole process, right? That's the whole process. So we'll see. Not a terrible risk structure, right? This is I threw the candle the position tool on right when we got there. Yeah, I don't have it in me today. Don't think I have it in me today, chat. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, we were talking about that. Love, about to lock out. Summer's account killer. Hey, what's up? What's going on, guys? Yeah. Longs look good on NQ. Nice. I'm new here. You only trade YM. I answered that question already. Love that saying. As a CFO, entrepreneurs looking to firm, waiting to hear the truth is the only one I can work with. So many shamsters out there who will tell them what they want to hear. Yeah. Going to follow it. Following you have not taken the short pains you have lately. Thanks for thinking out loud. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what this looks like. Here would be a 1-to-1. We'll see if that can hit. See if that can hit. But yeah. So again, guys, that's what we get a lot of. Unfortunately, people want to be lied to, and I wanted to be lied to in trading a lot. When I started out, I only followed people that were lying, and I think I asked myself this question, how many people trade and follow the most obvious fraud? It's a clown show over there. It's hysterical. The most obvious BS, verified, everything's been fraudulent, fairy tale land. Why are you there? Why are you stuck in that, losing money? And why are you doing that? Because we want that to be true. We want that confidence. We want to know that somebody knows where the market's going to go next, exactly to the tick. And I can too if I just, learn this stuff. We want to know that there is this certainty in trading, as we do with everything in life. And there's not, right? And it sucks to hear that there's not. It sucks to hear that there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any edge. It sucks to hear that, one person can't tell you exactly what you need to do to trade. And if you just study, then follow this one thing, that you will be, profitable with this 100% mechanical system. It's just not out there. So it sucks to hear that, but and I think that's why. That's why I'm like, how are people in these cult followings? So we'll see. We'll see. Fairy tale land. Yeah, it's fairy tale land out there, guys. And again, like I'm an idiot, but I don't know. I could see a scam from a mile away, especially if someone's been verified as a fraudster over and over and over and over again. And if you have half the wherewithal to be like, I know what reality is and I know what fairy tale land is, and this is just fairy tale land. But again, I get it. We want that certainty, and again, I'd be lying if I said early on I wasn't so absorbed in these 100% mechanical, rules-based, basic systems. Look at this great results, 80-something% win rate and a positive risk to reward. And I knew deep down that it wasn't really out there, but I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be that simple. I wanted that quick success, and I wanted that certainty. It's okay, guys. Come over to the light side, or find your own way to the light side, but you don't have to stay stuck. And for anybody out there listening, probably know what I'm, here's the thought. Ooh, that short's playing, man. Yeah, there it is. Just because you've made mistakes, or you've listened to people that, you're starting to question, or you were part of things and you're not, agreeing with them so much anymore, you can change. You can come over to the light side. All right. There's the 1-to-1 short play, breaking IB low, really aggressively extending the downside. It does look like we want to come all the way down to this level. There's the 1-to-1. If I had to take a profit on this one that I was going to hold on to for a long period of time, man, it's going to be that session where I'm just framing out trades. Yeah, probably right in here. I'm going to say like 420s, 410s. Yep. It's going to be that session where I frame out two really nice trades, and I'm not taking either one of them. But for all the reasons that I've discussed, right? And again, I think I know deep down, right? I try to be honest with myself, and getting cooked over and over and over and over again in one direction. It took a lot for me to continually short the market yesterday, despite getting cooked the day before and having valid setups. I try my best to be a machine, but there's a level of my data is screaming at me. So again, in this account, I have not lost on the longs. I think I've taken some break evens or some small wins, partial, but I literally have not lost on the longs. I've only lost in the shorts. It does not mean that a significant portion of the profit came from the shorts, but my win rate on longs is solid, and my win rate on shorts is abysmal. So there's validity behind me saying, foot off the gas, bro. Stop hitting the short button over and over and over again. I've also taken significantly more shorts than longs. So I have to question, is the market setting up for them, or are you carrying some unhealthy bias that is not paying you? Why are you finding your way into shorts? How and why? So now that we got all that fun stuff out of the way, let's do this, guys. I think you know what time it's about to be. I think you guys know what time it's about to be. Where's my little thing? How many likes do we got on this stream? 30 something? We're gonna ask for some likes for today, guys. We're gonna run this up. You're gonna have to hit the like button, but we're gonna make it really easy. We got 50 people on here right now. We've had 196 hop on and off on YouTube specifically. We're going to do an account giveaway at 60 likes. Go ahead and run the likes up. As soon as we hit 60 likes, which I'm not in any rush to do, on the YouTube live stream, we're going to drop the giveaway form. We're going to drop the giveaway form in Discord chat. You can get ready for it. Giveaway form is going to be in Discord the same way it's been all week. You guys can hop in there if you want. It's pinned to the top of the chat as well. There it is right there. Kick. You guys can hang out if you want to hop in. What is going on? Oh, man, my chat got limited. Why? There we go. If you want to hop in the free Discord, Kick. We're about to run a giveaway. You guys can go ahead and hop in there. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, country not allowed through Whoop. You can shoot me an email at support@realdealfutures.com, but I'm going to be pretty slow to answer those. I'm overwhelming myself with all the little nuanced stuff. So if you can't get in through Whoop, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. If you can't get in through Whoop because you're not allowed, also, I'm sorry. Here was the back end thought. Let me back up. If you can't get in through Whoop because you're from a prohibited country, you're probably also prohibited from trading with Top 1 Futures and all of the other prop firms. If not, shoot me an email. But I'm not going to spend so much time trying to go through emails to get everybody the invite link. So anyway, that's the deal. Go ahead, run the likes up. Oh, you guys are going to hit it in 2 seconds. There you go. Yeah, almost there. 60 likes. We're going to drop a giveaway form in Discord. Going to give you guys 10 minutes. Get it filled out. I have a graphic that I'm going to put on the screen that actually has all of the stuff, and then I'm not going to say anything else. We're going to see how good everybody can listen to instructions. But yeah, overall, pretty back and forth week. Jay, what's up? Andrew Baggs, no, you cannot transfer it to somebody else. You deleted the message, but no, you can't transfer it to somebody else. You can only fill it out for yourself. You can only win one time, and it can't go to anybody else. It has to go directly to the email that you provided. Anything else there, it's a no. It's a no. Yeah, short play. I mean, as in a rerun. Oh. All right, Sanjay. All right. Ready? Here's how long it takes for me to ban someone, guys. Sanjay Baharu PM5. I'm going to say this one time. This is how distracting it is. But I'm going to say it one time to you. Right? And if you say the same thing again in Discord, I'm going to kick you. If you email me, support@realdealfutures.com, I will send you a personal Discord link. I would go to the Top 1 Futures website, which I'm going to put in the chat right now, and double check that you're not wasting my and your time because you're also banned from being able to actually trade an account. There you go. Okay? Send me an email, support@realdealfutures.com. I'll send you a link. If you ask me one more question in the chat, if you say anything else in the chat after this, you're getting banned. Anybody else in chat, let me know if that's patient enough, too patient, or if I should just be stopping and wasting time here. But let me go ahead and open my email. Watching this thing continue to sell off. Let's see if we go check out the low 400s, 48,000 low 400s. I'm no trade for the day, guys. Again, really uneventful week. Really uneventful week for me. I started a challenge trading, which I talked about, posted a whole bunch of stuff, trading the instant sim funded accounts. Want to do a zero unfunded to pay out in 30 days challenge. I'm going to come back at that. Overwhelm myself with the amount of stuff that I thought I could really handle this week, and content and editing and filming wise, and actually trading. Live account, zero trades in this account. Live prop account, I should say, zero trades. Quite a bit of trading on the back end in across multiple different things, which has been fun to learn. But yeah, uneventful here in the futures market. I got to say, feeling a little disappointed that I missed out on some of this opportunity to the upside. Just not able to find a way in intraday to make it work. Lot of review, lot of testing. Watch my IG that comes out on today. Maybe I'll drop one. I did a time lapse of me back testing for hella hours. Really just trading view replay mode. I like to differentiate between like aggressively tracking data in back testing and really just throw in trading view in replay mode and doing it that way. But we'll see. We'll continue to try to adapt, improvise, overcome, and become the best trader that we possibly can be. All right, guys, let's go ahead and run this giveaway. Giveaway form is live in Discord. Make sure it's working. Go ahead, get it filled out. Check it out, guys. Check out the graphic. This way, whoa, no, I don't want to do that. I wanted to adjust my screen. Check out the graphic. This way I don't have to adjust. I don't have to repeat myself 47 times. Look, I'm trying to get so good for you guys and make it so easy. Giveaway time. 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures is up for grabs. Fill out the form in Discord. Link to join the free Discord is pinned to the chat. Do not fill it out more than once. Winner must be in the live chat to claim the win. That's supposed to say. Thanks, ChatGPT. Winner picked in 10 minutes. That's all the info. You should have no questions, guys. And let me come back to the chat. Pam, you guys were talking about laptops. NQ TrendSpider and CFO Pam and Redbeard and Luca in Discord. You guys were talking about laptops and setups and stuff like that. Somebody asked, do I mind sharing which Apple I use? I have a newer, I don't think it's the newest anymore since they drop stuff pretty quick, but I have, maybe it's a year and a half old, MacBook Pro with the highest specs. MacBook Pro laptop, the larger one with all of the highest specs. That, for me, is beyond fast enough to run everything from. Multiple charts, multiple software programs, live streaming. One thing you do have multiple monitors in front of me, although I don't have a ton of monitors, I have two. You do have to have a fast internet. So for me, the fastest stuff that I get is AT&T fiber. It's really damn fast. Really damn fast. Plus the upload and download speed matches. It's not, 1,000 download and then, 50 upload or something like that. So your hardware will only ever be as good as your hardwired internet connection. Also hardwire it way faster than Wi-Fi. But yeah, I would say I'm Apple. I'm an Apple guy, right? iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, everything in between, right? The iPad. I think their stuff just works. It's overpriced, I think, and it keeps you in their ecosystem, but it works exceptionally well. I literally never have issues, and if I do, I have Apple Care on everything, and it's immediately resolved. I drive to the Apple store, and I go, it's a problem, you fix it. And then they fix it or they give me a new one in an hour. It's the best. I just can't come off of it. I know you can get way better performance and specs and all this other stuff by PC and Android and all that. That's all good, dude. My stuff never has an issue. And I've had the other stuff, lots of issues and an immediate performance decay, like from day one, which I also don't notice with Apple products. So newer Apple products with Apple Care, no issues. If you have an issue, you go right there and you're like, fix it, idiot. And then they do. They're like, high five. Thanks for coming back in. We got you. All right. Let's see. Yeah, guys, we got about 5 minutes. We'll get this. Look at this. Look at this, man. Disgusted. I'm disgusted with my trading this week. We got the giveaway form in Discord. Go ahead and get it filled out. I see responses are rolling in. And back to the chat. Yeah, Andrew Beggs, if you win, you can ask for a rerun. Yes, so fill it out. Sanjay, we talked about that. We're going to see if you're going to get banned in 2 seconds. I won yesterday. Oh, nice, dude. Awesome. Yeah, that's right, Beggs. You won yesterday. Where's the form? In the main chat in Discord. Thank you, sir. Which time frame you use? This is the 15-minute time frame, which you could see right up here in the left-hand side. 15-minute time frame. I'll swap around. I'll use other time frames, but on YM for this higher time frame stuff, I'm typically using the 15-minute. I don't see the form. Main chat, guys. Main chat. It's there. Oh. 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. Get the form filled out. We'll make this one short and sweet. All right. Got to be a language barrier. Say it once and let it go. Yep. There we go. I'm $1 in profit. One account. No trades on the other one. Nice. Honestly, I don't think they're real people, to be honest. There's 3 people in here with the same name format. Maybe. Okay, I wanted to ask a question for a friend, but I don't want to anymore. Yeah, could be wrong. 55 watching, 55 likes. Nice. What do we got? Yeah, again, we've had a lot of people cycle on and off, so you get concurrent, and then you get the people that view it. It should be only one with those videos. Sanjay, Discord link, please. Oh my. All right, now you're done. Sanjay, you're cooked, bro. I tried, guys. I tried so hard. I was so patient. Sanjay, you're done, brother. You're now hidden from the channel. You technically can't ban people on YouTube. They could just hop on and watch it, but you can't comment anymore. That's a wrap. Hey, Sanjay, he told you not to spam. Sanjay, you're gonna get banned asking. Oh my gosh, dude. That's hysterical. There we see. Look at how long it takes to get banned, guys. Like, I mean, if you come in here with some hate speech or say something crazy, it's an immediate ban from everything. But it takes so long. I'm so patient. I really try because I like to be non-discriminatory. I like to give everybody opportunity. I think some people are hard-headed. I empathize. I'm hard-headed. But it's distracting, and it takes away from everybody else that's in here and actual, live trading. So that's the limit. If you guys want to know how long it takes before you get kicked from the channel, it's right there. After I lay it out for somebody specifically, after you've asked the same thing multiple times and I've answered it multiple times. I think that person's joking, though. I honestly think that they're like, I think they're joking. They didn't email me, by the way. I have my email open. They didn't email me. All right, guys. Giveaway form is about to get closed off. That's coming up on 10 minutes. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Starboy, you're late to the party. I just see you're the last one that dropped in. Let's see if anybody filled it out with anything random. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go, guys. We're going to give away an instant funded account from Top One Futures. Shout out Top One Futures if you want to check out Top One Futures. The link is about to be in the chat. Code RDF gets you 50% off. These are instant funded accounts, guys. Instant funded. I was going to say no purchase necessary, but that's for my that's for the giveaway. There is a purchase necessary. No minimum trading days. Copy trade up to 6 of them. 50% off. Link is in the chat if you want to check them out. But we're going to run a duck race as I watch a trade go in my favor that I am not taking because I cooked myself too many times in the shorts, and I just can't bring myself to short this bullish market anymore. 60 seconds, guys. 60 seconds on the form, and we're gonna clip it. Run a duck race on a Friday. End off this whack trading week for me, but fun. Fun. Let's see. Yeah. All right, guys, we're getting duck race ready. We are good on the form. Duck race getting ready to roll. Last person just made it in under the gun. Let's throw, you know what? Let's throw a couple minutes on the clock today. Let's throw 5 minutes on the clock. We'll hang out for 5 minutes. We're gonna throw 5 minutes on the duck race clock. Oof, right down to the zone. All right. Chatty McChat chat before we run it. The same plugs as always. If you're new, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. I'm live almost every damn day. Trading free live trading. Run a 100% free trading Discord. Links to everything are pinned to the top of the chat. We run giveaways almost every day, random days, random times on the live streams here. A form drops the way you just saw. You get it filled out. No purchase necessary. You get a chance to win. Good luck, everybody. We have how many ducks in a row? You guys always like to know. I think we had 70-something. 75 ducks in a line today. 5 minutes on the clock. I'm going to give you guys a long run. We're going to the higher time frame for these ducks. Let's see who's got it in them today. Early break from Glenn B all the way to the front. NHL profit. challenging it. That's tough. BT Art, another OG challenging it. Don't know, guys. I wish TradingView could show tick-by-tick replay to get more detailed backtesting data. Yeah, they don't. You could use replay, FX replay for that. Here is Sir Wolf. You don't see that 10 minutes is long enough to allow bots to resubmit. It takes yeah. Adam, not a bad suggestion. Hey guys, nice trade, but you did not take it. Correct. Talked a lot about why. Andrew, yeah, you guys are laughing at it. Yep, Sanjay got the boot. That was enough. I can't do that myself. I'm done until 2026. I go from passing 50, 100, 150K evals in less than a week to every trade being crap in XFAs. Out of money with holiday time. Yeah, Mike, just take your foot off the gas, man. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's a bad idea to take your foot off the gas. Just go back to testing. Just trade evals. But there's a gap in between there for sure that you're going to have to bridge. Is there a way to show dollar values on stop loss and take profit in TradingView? I don't think once it's on the chart with specifically Tradovate through Top 1 Futures. Through other brokers, I have found it that way. But I'm doing a lot of testing and research myself, ADN X7, so I'll keep you updated. It's the guys that don't read prop rules and then go ham on X for not getting payout. Yep, exactly. Zach, I'm not hidden with my main account. No. Nope. I'll double check for you though. After this. I'm just gonna make a note of that. I'll double check. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Wolf. Oh, Wolf. Early break, man. I don't know. Chad ran in a solo spam duck race. Yeah, this week is bad for me as well. When you get it, no, you have to take a break. Yeah. Email is support@realdealfutures.com. Sammy. support@realdealfutures.com. Had a big blowout break. It helped. Yep. Take a break. Definitely take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break, guys. Nothing wrong with taking a break. Just reading the chat. Settings, trading, profit. Change the loss value to change the bracket to money. I'll take a look at that. That might be an answer there. Come on, Purple Duck. Let's go, Neo. Duck, it's a marathon. Hello, what's going on, guys? What's going on? Tom Ward out front now. I'm not going to announce this one like a horse race. We did 5 minutes, man. Giving you guys time. Everybody gets to see their name today. We'll see. We'll see if any of the. So far, none of the early leaders are out front. We'll see. We're rotating through. Already like that. It's only showing the. Yeah. So we're talking about TradingView. When you enter with a stop loss and take profit bracket, showing the stop loss and take profit. And what I've noticed personally, guys, and again, I have to go back through and just check this and test it myself. Different connections do different things on TradingView. And in the past, when I logged in, I was able to not only see my stop loss and take profit in the dollar amount, I was able to drag it out from the entry. And with Tradovate login, Tradovate prop login, I'm not able to do that. So maybe there's some settings I have to mess with, which I'm planning on doing. It's really not that big of a deal for me because on the order card, you can enter with the bracket displaying exactly how much the take profit and stop loss is. Watch my most recent videos, guys. I got like 2, but I'll be dropping more. 25 seconds to go. King Trader. Paul Memphis, Dwayne down on the bottom. Keen Nils looking really strong. He's always out front. Analia, 55 Duck. Dwayne looking really strong here down on the bottom. 10 seconds to go. Oh, man. Dwayne with a strong hold all the way down. Oh, the stop loss. The stop loss. Who is this? The Cyclops Duck. Victory blessings with the Mohawk. The number 43 taking the W. Let's see who this is in chat. Where are you at, my man? Victory blessings should be your username on on YouTube as well. What's up? What's up? What's up? You got to be in here to claim it. You know it. Where you at? Where you at in chat? Victory blessings. Bless up. Easy, my duck. Take it easy. Saving the round. Don't go anywhere yet, guys. Don't go anywhere. I don't know this person. I don't know who this is. Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Victory blessings with the W. W's in the chat. Congratulations. The number 43 duck winning a Top 1 Futures 50K Ignite instant funded account. Remember, guys, remember, if you didn't win today, we run these almost every day here on the live streams, which are 9:15 a.m. Eastern every damn day. Random days, random times. Go ahead and throw this one over in the corner. Looks like the short would have paid today. Let me make a note so I don't forget. Account will come directly to your email, to the person that won, straight to your email from Top 1 Futures. You don't have to do anything. Should get it. Today's Friday. Should get it by Monday. But they've been pretty quick with it, as long as I don't drop the ball. Yeah, no trade for me, guys. No trade for me today. Framed out two really nice ones. Both a low time frame scalp to the downside that would have been really nice adding in that way that I was talking about testing for intraday. Really nice retest of VWAP and then a bit of a rejection with some volume picking up for a move to the downside. This has made it to 1.69 R. This would be a really nice W. Didn't have it in me today. Really didn't have it in me for a continuation. This is not my preferred style of trade to begin with. Short, talked about this a lot. Short, just not paying me well at all. So I do not feel bad at all not hitting the short button. Honestly, my journal yesterday, my thought process yesterday was why are you shorting all-time highs so aggressively? What are you doing? So to come right in the next day and do it again after your data screaming at you not to do something is a little bit tricky. But that's the play for me today, guys. Again, no trades in this live account. L's in the sim funded 50Ks. Talked about that challenge that I got on hold as I got a whole bunch of stuff cooking, man. Watch the Instagram reels. If you're not in Discord, you can watch it in Discord as well. Links to all that at the top of the chat. Chat, I do have workarounds. It takes at least 20 seconds. ADNX. Watch my last two latest YouTube videos. Flip through. I think you'll get a feel for it. That was a nice one, man. Enigma is hunting me in the duck race. ICT, we can hate him, but he created monsters like Jade Cap and Kane. I disagree. I don't think that he created monsters. I don't think that he created Jade Cap and Kane. I think they created themselves. They've been trading for an exceptionally long period of time. And I think 99.99% of everything that comes out of that crowd is a complete and utter bunch of bullshit and complicated stuff. So, Sir Lunch a lot. If you're focusing on ICT, I think you'd have a whole lot better time focusing on pretty much anything else. I think trading the sun's rays or the tides in the Hudson River would be better. But that's my humble opinion, my 2 cents. What do I know? I'm an idiot on YouTube. You trade whatever you want to trade. That's my 2 cents. How much my SL is? Yeah. So ADNX, check out the last couple videos. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up on a more positive note than the smart money concept guys are a bunch of fraud. Let's wrap it up on a more positive note than that. No BS. Complicated, but no BS. Oh, NHL profit. Oh my gosh, man. No, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, man. But we're not going to have this conversation here. We won't have it here. If you want to hop in Discord or you just hit me up personally, man. I'll send you a couple of voice messages. I'm happy to. No BS is crazy work to say, bro. Crazy work. I hope you can hear my tone and cadence when I say that. But, Wolf is trolling. He's joking right now, man. But, I'm assuming that you're early into trading because it's usually the group. You're really early in. And you just, you haven't really made the rounds enough, but I really encourage you to do your own research and make your own decisions. Get information from others outside of the cult that you're in right now, you know. And I have the conversation because, you know, I found it really painful myself. I found it really painful to be stuck for a long period of time. 6 years, my friend. That's incredible. That's incredible. If you've been trading for 6 years and you are telling me that you think that there's no BS that comes out of the ICT Smart Money group, then I think that you're either lying about how long you've been trading, or you are just an enigma yourself, pun intended. But I don't understand. I don't understand at all. But anyway, let's wrap it up more positively on this, guys. Trade whatever you want to trade, right? Trade whatever you want to trade. There's more than one way to do this. You will certainly not trade the exact same way as me or anybody else. It all comes down to keeping your trading somewhat simple so it can be repeatable and consistent, right? Even if it's somewhat complicated, repeatable and consistent. Being a good risk manager, right? And focusing on where and how you're going to apply your discretion and manage your emotions. If I had to sum it all up, that's what it comes down to. The strategy that you trade, the why behind your trades, you could say whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. Whatever you could build confidence in and have consistency with. So again, I'm going to pause the conversation. NHO Profit. I strongly disagree with what you're saying based on all of the facts and reality of life. But we could talk about this more in Discord. I'm happy to send you a voice message. Again, I think you hear the way that I talk about things. I can super duper strongly disagree with people and still be somewhat, I make jokes and stuff, I will say, but respect you. So anyway, we can talk about it more in Discord. Let's wrap it up here, guys. Positive note, we got a couple weeks left. Really one good trading week left, which is next week before Christmas and New Year's. Super psyched on that, man. Let's focus up. Let's try to get some good trading in before we come into the holidays, man, where we want to be able to spend time with our families. Talk to you guys soon. I will, we're going to pick this up in Discord. Hop in Discord. We'll pick this up in Discord because I'm happy to talk about it. Quick disclaimer, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Talk to you guys soon. Hope you have an awesome weekend. Thanks for being here. Hop in Discord, and we can talk more about different trading concepts and what I find valuable and not valuable. More than happy to do that. Link is pinned to the top of the chat if you're not in there already. Follow on socials as well. Ton of content coming out. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Happy Friday. Trade well the rest of the day. Talk to you soon.